Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a better morning than me. But I'm here. I'm currently negative one trade, one trade, and I shouldn't be. Yeah, just making crazy mistakes. Making mistakes, yes, but I have to remind myself that I'm only in week 3 of trading this, so making mistakes is inevitable. Just forgetting, like, I don't know. I think I'm just mad because I'm forgetting the most simplest shit ever. Like, so I've taken 3 trades, won 1, lost 2. I should be 3-0 right now. I missed. So making the mistakes that I made me second guess the other 2 trades, which were winners. And I don't know why I second guessed them, but it is what it is. So we're currently in medium impact news. Good morning, Apple and Ears. We're currently in medium impact news, so I'll start trading again in 2 minutes. Good morning. How are you this morning? All right, so here are my mistakes this morning. So I took this trade, perfect win. I told y'all the early trend trades, I don't know, for whatever reason, when we're in an uptrend and I have to go down for the sale, I don't know why it doesn't look the same way as when we're in a downtrend and we're going for a buy. I don't know why, because this is literally the same exact trade. Sets up the exact same way. So I missed this one, the back-to-back trade. I took this trade and I put the note here. That was invalid because of where the VWAP was placed, and I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to that. Took this buy, was invalid. The oscillator didn't match. Why wasn't I paying attention to the oscillator? I don't freaking know, okay? I don't know. So today is just full of mistakes. And so because I made 2 mistakes back to back, it made me question this sale. I don't know why, because this is a perfect sale. Using the change zone as, resistance. Perfect setup. And then there were no more setups because we had to wait for news. But so yeah. So I took 2 invalid trades so far, and I missed / sat out of 2 more. What a wonderful morning. I did do a lot of studying yesterday, because when I stopped trading yesterday after that counter trend divergence loss, and then like the subsequent regular pullback would have been a loss, I was like, yeah. I figured out why that counter trend move lost. I would have, if that trade would have never lost, I would have never looked into this particular thing. But there is a pattern that is consistent with, I think there's like 2 break evens, a loss and a win, maybe, with it. And that's over the course of like 3 weeks worth of data. It's no point in taking it. And it all has to do with how the previous bar, if the previous bar reacts off of a level, which that one in particular did. So I went through that. I went through some other data as well. And yeah, we're here. So also, I also looked at the whole like trading inside of the 2 change zones, and I think I've figured it out. I have enough data to where I am confident or comfortable taking the trades if they come today. And if they lose, it's fine. I don't really care. It is what it is. But I just want to stop making mistakes. That would be very nice. Very nice. But we'll see. I can't see. Oh, there we go. Good morning, new trader. How are you this morning? Good morning. Okay, I'll be nice to myself. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? It's okay, Amelia. I was a little early, just a tad. I'm like, well, I got to sit out of news anyway. And I did not, because of all the studying that I did yesterday, I did not fix the screen that y'all see so that the news will show. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, so quite a bit of stuff that I looked over yesterday. Most of the stuff needed no changes, literally. No changes at all. I did realize that on my alternate pullbacks, my minor trend can change in the midst of the setup. I didn't realize that. So I have been sitting out of that for the entire time now, and I didn't have to. And the crazy thing is, it set up twice yesterday, and that's what made me look at it, because I'm like, okay, it just set up twice perfectly. How come I can't get into this? And after going through the data for the alternate pullback, I realized why I initially had a rule that I couldn't take it if the minor trend changed in the midst of the setup. I realized why I put that, but now that I have more data and I know better, I know why that particular trade or two trades lost. So there we have it. What else? Essentially, with the trading inside of the change zones, this is where we change to a downtrend over here. Immediate rejection. Essentially, the only way for me to really take trades is if the entry bar touches the new change zone. I'm pretty sure that's it. I could be wrong. I think there's a couple of other ways I can take it, but for now, we'll just kind of stick to that. That's kind of the easiest way to do it. Oh, that's pointless. I was going to get into this. Oh, it didn't pop up anyway. I thought it was going to set up as a sell. $56, 45. All right. This is insane. I was hoping that we used the VWAP as support to push up, but we had other plans. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Crashing PAs earlier this morning. No bueno, no bueno. Price action, not what you like. Well, if it makes you feel better, I've been fucking up all morning. Took 3 trades, won 1, lost 2. Both of my losses were invalid trades that I just was not paying attention to important details. But Applejack said that I have to be nice to myself. No, I'm willing to give myself grace. For me, it's like when I lose and it's not the strategy, it's me. It makes me feel better to a certain extent, but then it pisses me off at the same time because it's like, girl, just do the shit right. Just do the shit right. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna get my shit together one day. Yes, I am. Just simple mistakes, and then sat out of 2. One of them I sat out of because it's the same thing I told y'all a couple days ago. I could see the early trends when we're in a downtrend and we're going up, but when we're in an uptrend and we're going down, it's the same exact setup. And I don't know why my brain does not see it the same exact way. It's literally insane. I don't get it. I don't. It'd have been nice to be able to take this, but when we pushed down, we literally like went right back up at the same exact time. There was no way I was gonna time that 33. Yeah, it happened in like 2 seconds. But that was another trade right there. Do those? I bet you it matches too. Oh, it doesn't. Good. All right, we're back to break even. I almost got caught in that buy. It would have won anyway, but the oscillator didn't match for these two right here. This one and this one. The oscillator did not match. It almost did. Back to break even. Thank goodness. This has been driving me nuts, so making mistakes suck. All right, oscillator doesn't match. One of the other things that I looked at yesterday, so I didn't necessarily go through each setup, but I basically like just looked at specific things, and my divergence trades that are still going in the same direction of the trend. I did have to make a couple of adjustments to it. Basically, one of the setups I completely took out, and then the other ones, basically, I just had to kind of redefine them a little bit. Nothing too major, honestly. Just kind of having a clear definition of when I get into the trade and when I don't. So that should be pretty helpful, hopefully. Hopefully, but at least we're back to break even. All right, let's see. Yesterday I traded so bad, recovered today. Oh, thank goodness you recovered today. You know what? It's crazy because yesterday was such a slow grind up and then we just crashed. And I'm actually surprised at how many people, like how many of us struggled yesterday. Because it just seemed so, well, I guess it also depends on what time frame you use, but it just seemed like so textbook, but so many of us struggled yesterday. That is so crazy to me. I really worried too much. Yeah, your goal is to get away anyway. But I know you rather take some money out on your way out. uh, okay. That was almost a trade. Let me lock that so I don't get confused. 448. To the belief ICT is a bad teacher. I learned so much more without him. I still use his concepts, but it's because someone else explained it better. You know what? When I first asked one of my Discord buddies, because he trades ICT, he was like, if you ever want to learn ICT, just don't look at his videos. He's like, it's so many videos on YouTube of people like explaining it in 30 minutes, or they'll explain like all of his different concepts in 30 minutes, or they'll explain one of his concepts in like 5 to 7 minutes and show different examples. And he's like, just don't learn from him. Because I told him, I was like, so I first heard about ICT years ago when I was watching Hannah Forex, and all she talked about was his mentorship, and she was documenting her journey of learning ICT concepts and going through the mentorship and all this other stuff. So that's when I first learned. And I was curious. I wasn't even really trading that much at the time. No, no, this is when I was profitable intraday swing trading. So I was like, I'll check it out. You just never know what you can learn from someone, even if it might not totally change your strategy, but you might learn something that's like, maybe if I incorporate this will kind of help me to stay out of losses, that kind of thing. And baby, I wasn't on that video. I could not have been on that video more than maybe 10 minutes. I don't even think I lasted 10 minutes. I was like, yo, what is this and why? I couldn't take it. I could not. The ranting and rambling and just I don't know. I'm a very straightforward, straight to the point person. That's why John's videos from Apex drive me insane, because if the 30% consistency rule was so easy to understand, this new one, you wouldn't have to rant about it on Facebook. Okay. You wouldn't have to subsequently put out a 44-minute video trying to explain part of it. Then I think I heard that he put out 2 more videos yesterday. My mans, if it was that easy, it would be easier for you to explain. Now, I can literally go make a 5-minute video, 3-minute video, explaining this new 30% consistency rule as he now explained it. Okay? It wouldn't take me 45 minutes to do. It would not. It's like, make it clear and concise. I literally only watch these long ass videos because I know other people don't want to. So, and also because I get so many people who ask me questions. All right, I go watch it so that if somebody asks, I can explain it to them. But the average person does not want to consume 45 minutes worth of video to explain something so simple. Okay? Like, that's why when I made the video the way that I made it, my video was only that long because I included his clips. I could have explained all of that shit in like 10 minutes. And it would have only been 10 minutes because I had the example of the regular 30% consistency rule. So people who can't get to the point drive me insane. I can't. I just can't. I took a real nice trade last week. Watched his live stream to see if he saw it. But he was ranting. I was like, what the port new trade? See, you know better now. That's what it took for me to close the videos. Yeah, I just don't understand. I watched other people to learn his strategy. Yeah, because like I remember hearing a bunch of people talk about the silver bullet. And I remember watching like maybe a 10-minute video on the silver bullet. And I was like, oh, this is so simple. Why wasn't his explanation this simple? I don't get it. Shoulda, woulda, coulda left a runner. You weren't a buy? Yes, exactly. Like Applejack said, no regrets. No regrets. We were talking about that in Nutty stream yesterday because there was a guy who came in who was like basically upset with himself because he didn't hold a trade. And Nutty was just basically like, at the end of the day, go for what you initially wanted to go for. And if it goes further than that, like you hit your take profit. Now, it's one thing to be irritated because you get, top ticked or bottom ticked for a stop loss and it go in your direction. Absolutely be pissed. No. But if you got something out of it, you got something out of it. That's just like yesterday when I caught that sale off the very, very, very top. Where is it? When I caught this sale right here. Do you think I could? Well, wait a minute. Maybe I do. No, I'm just like, do you think I care that the market went down this far? Let me measure this shit. So the market went down 800 ticks from my entry. 800. Okay. I know I said I wasn't gonna be mad. I only got 18 ticks out of it, but maybe I will be a little mad. But no, seriously, like who cares that it went 800 ticks? I got the 4.5 points that I'm used to getting out of the market. I was actually happy that my strategy set up in a way where I was able to get into that trade to begin with. What happens after I'm out? I don't care. I got out with a win. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. All right, I have to be careful because even though this didn't create the change zone like we're used to, this still technically is a zone that's being created because we attempted to change to a downtrend. We failed. So that created a new downside pressure line to where if we aren't trading above it, we're probably heading down. So I'm being very careful to not take trades inside of here because I'm going to treat it as if we are like in between change zones, like down here or something. So I'm going to sit out until we either push above there or we break the zone down this way. Because even though yesterday I looked through things and I know how to take the like inside of the change zone trades now, I did not look at like when we're inside this particular way. It's a little bit, just a little bit different. And it's mainly because like if I'm in between change zones, I prefer to only take trades that are in the direction of the overall bias. So like this sell would be something that I would normally take if we weren't inside of this zone here. So I really should only be looking for bias. But I'm not going to look for anything because I'm not comfortable taking that just yet. Not yet. All right, let's lock that. Don't need these. Let's see. Hold on, let me go back. Started my trade. Let's see, account a month ago. Should I trade in this account more than my? Ooh. So Janelle, when you have an LLC and you are a sole proprietor, your taxes are gonna be the same, to be honest with you. The only thing that's gonna be different is if you decide to declare it as an S corp in one of those accounts. But aside from that, you should be taxed the same because like my tax guy, when he does my taxes every year, everything is still on one form basically because I'm a single member LLC. So no matter what's going on, it's just me at the end of the day. So it doesn't really change anything. So I would say that you can trade them the same. You know, if you want to trade maybe one instrument on one on another, or something like that, but you don't really have to make a distinction as far as which one you trade the most because you're going to be taxed the same. It doesn't matter. So much money trying to follow his silver bullet. Now I get it. Oh my gosh. Anybody watch Tori Trey's interview her uncle who got her into trading? No, I didn't. I was so sure that uncle thing was all fake. Yeah, a lot of people thought her uncle was fake. And I mean, he could still be. How do we know that's really her uncle? Yeah, a lot of people thought. Because my uncle, they like, girl, where's your uncle at? Ay, ay, ay. Mm. Did that close? No. If this wins, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. If it loses, I'll feel better. Yes, make me feel better. Thank you. It's just the way, I don't know. It just didn't look good. I think it followed my rule. I'm pretty sure it followed my rules, but it didn't look right. Mainly because, like this was the initial zone, but because we did that little stuff up there, then the zone got smaller and it just, it don't look right. Plus, I'm pretty sure I can figure out how to like make that not a thing, mainly because of the VWAP placement like earlier. That VWAP placement will get me sometimes. The VWAP has been trying to kick my ass lately. It's supposed to be helpful, not hurtful. The capital gains tax wouldn't be the same, right? You know what? Let me ask my tax guy. I'll ask him today. Actually, let me see if I can get an answer in the next 45 minutes. I got you, girl. Capital gains taxes be the same. He usually is up this early, so hopefully he responds. If he responds, I'll let you know. I'll tell you exactly what I asked him. I said, with trading, would the capital gains taxes be the same on a personal account and a single member LLC? Is all treated the same like normal rights since it's single member? I'll let you know what he says. I got you. People are saying ICT was a child. They be saying Tanya's is already, hell yeah. It's really dope how she's been able to build her platform. I know that a lot of people talk about how it's legit because she trades ICT. I don't know any other female content creator who puts ICT in their title each time. So, first of all, being a female trader it's not to say it's hard to build content. Like I told you guys yesterday, if I made regular videos, it wouldn't be hard at all. But when you are one of very few who trades ICT and creates content, that's helpful whether you're male or female. But the fact that she is a woman, that helps her out a lot. And she's pretty chill as well, which also helps. Very stark contrast between her and her dad. I was going home yesterday and reflecting on it, then I was like, man, I don't even know when Keamber shortened the stream. It just came up out of nowhere. I did end like a couple minutes early yesterday just because of that trade that I took. When did I decide to stop at 10:15? I don't really know. I just remember looking over. I'm pretty sure it was after I switched to volume. So it had to have been in the last 2 weeks. And when I looked, I'm like, I have all of this data, like all this data, and noticed that there's not much after 10:15. I think I even re-looked. Yeah, I re-looked at it maybe Sunday. I'm gonna tell you. No, I think I re-looked at it yesterday. Yeah, so I wrote down all the trades after 10 o'clock. And this is based on, let's see, a week. This is based on 2 weeks worth of data. Between 10 and 10:15, there were 13 trades, 10 wins, 2 losses, and one trade where I wouldn't have gotten filled. And actually, one of those losses is now invalid because I think that was the loss that I had yesterday or something like that. From 10:15 to 10:29 or 10:30, there was only 3 trades. So I went from 13 in the first 15 minutes after 10 to 3. And then from 10:30 to 10:45, there's 1. So for me, staying on that extra 30 minutes for literally 4 trades in 4 trades in 2 weeks isn't worth it. But at the same time, there's probably way more trades than that because I just completely at some point stopped recording them. Because I'm stopping at 10:15. So when I journal, ever since I stopped at 10:15, I stopped journaling any trades after 10:15. And remember, there was a couple of times I came back and told y'all like, oh, the market was kind of trash until 10:15. And then as I'm journaling, I just see the market doing everything I wanted to do. Whether it's counter trend, divert, every freaking setup was just working out perfectly. So maybe I might decide to, starting today, track the trades that happen between 10:15 and 10:45 because if it's way more than obviously what I have now because I stopped recording them, I might actually start trading until 10:45 again. Maybe 10:30. We'll see. We will see. Watches and cosigns her. Yeah. Totally missed half that conversation. I got her mixed up with Tory trades. Too many T's. I'm weak. Too many T's. It's crazy because the way that Tory trades, that's pretty similar to how I was trading when I was profitable in my personal account, intraday swing trading. I think I'm pretty sure most of the screenshots that I've showed y'all in the last couple of months that'll pop up on my Facebook memories. And I had a couple pop up the other day. Literally, I would draw support and resistance lines and draw trend lines and basically take the break of the trend line. It was that simple. That simple. 245. Yeah. All right. Push down too far. I was hoping that we use the these 2 levels right here to push up. But yeah, that's pretty much how I was trading. Then at one point I was also using moving averages and stuff like that. After a while, I really was only using the moving averages to kind of make sure I had the direction right. But then over time it was like, look, if we haven't created a lower low and we are in uptrend, we're still in the uptrend. That simple. That simple. One thing I do want to look at pretty soon, and maybe if I'm just bored today, I'll look at it. I'm pretty sure the way that I'm trading, at least with the pullbacks, I don't know with the counter trend divergence, I think you should be able to trade this way without my indicators and everything. You should be able to trade this way with regular time-based candles, I'm pretty sure, because it's literally just trading volume of swings. Now, how you determine those swings ain't got nothing to do with me. Because, I told you guys that's one of the reasons I don't like trading time-based charts, because you can interpret swings much different than other people do. Some people, it has to be a 3 candle pullback. Like if we're in an uptrend, we have to pull back 3 red candles in order for it to be a pullback. Other people too, it's just so different for each person, right? But yeah, because it's all volume based, should be pretty simple. So I'm going to check that, because if so, I'm going to put a video out about it, because I promise y'all, it's not that complicated at all. Renko's to me makes it a little bit more I wouldn't even say more complicated. It's just it's easier for me to identify congestion and consolidation with Rinkos. Um, but that also keeps me out of trades because of the way, like, when it's slow moving up on um a time-based chart, it's consolidating on my Rinkos. So if you're using a time-based chart, you might be able to get into that trade, but on the Rinkos, I can't. That makes sense. Um, I wonder, let me see something real quick. Because I don't know how. Yeah, see, I don't know when this considers something a swing though. Not on a time-based chart. Let's see. See, like this, I don't think that this particular zigzag would work well. Um, Only because like I don't know when it's gonna attach itself to the swing down. I'm gonna keep this open so I can see, but yeah. Oh, I thought somebody was here. But yeah, I'm really just waiting for us to break back out of the top of there. But trading volume is, I'm so happy I don't have to trade order flow no more, y'all. Like, even besides just things just moving too damn fast for my liking, volume is just so simple and easy of a concept to understand. I did have one of the mods asked me the other day, like if I could like use my strategy to not scalp but take like bigger trades. And like I explained to him, it still works. Like I opened up a 40 tick chart and some other charts like that. It still works. However, I feel like a 24 tick chart, maybe 28 tick chart is like the highest that you can go. And the reason why is because even though it still works on the higher time frames, right? The biggest thing that people have to remember is that even though you have these same volume patterns that are painting every single day, when you have an instrument like the Nasdaq, now if we're talking about a totally different instrument, fine, but on the Nasdaq, because it's so whipsaw, like whippy, you don't really want to trade volume with super big Renko candles. You just don't, because anything can happen inside of those candles. So to me, on the Nasdaq, if you want to trade volume, one of your better ways to do that is to scalp, because you want to be able to scalp the micro movements of the volume changes, not these huge swings, if that makes sense. Um, it's just too whipsawy. Like when I'm entering a trade, my stop loss is one tick beyond the open of the entry bar. If you use like a 40 tick chart or a 32 tick chart or something like that, because you always want to do multiples of 4, you would need your stop loss to be a lot bigger because you're looking for a bigger move. So you can't go one tick beyond the open of the entry bar. You need to go like probably halfway into the wick or something like that to give yourself room. But when you're scalping for the small micro movements, you don't need as much room because you're not giving the market time to whipsaw against you, basically. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah. Intraday swings. I watched her 40K trade video too. Didn't she have one that was it 100K? I watched her one video where she decided to go start trading crypto, and baby, she had a terrible entry. It was terrible, but she ended up coming back out of it. If I'm not mistaken, platinum is like her favorite. Oh, 483. All right, It looks like we're trying to head back down. We never created even one pullback above that change zone. Immediate rejection, second, third, fourth, fifth rejection. So I'd be surprised if we actually head up. I got what, 20, 35 minutes left. Hopefully we can get something else going. Like I said, I don't mind taking the trades inside of the change zones, but it needs to be like what I was looking at yesterday. Which none of that has set up yet. Has to be a buy, can't be any of the sales. And none of these were buy entries, I don't think. Could be wrong. Yeah, none of them were buy entries. Or none of the buy entries were valid trades, I'll say that. We're rejecting pretty hard. All right. We're trying to push through, but it's having a really tough time. Great live. Thank you, Tap to Success. I appreciate that. Is this a prop account? Yeah. You can see it up in the left-hand corner. I'm trading a Top Step account and an Apex account right now. Both of them combines or evals. I'm not trading my PA again yet because I just made a drastic change from trading order flow to going back to just strictly trading volume. About 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago. So I didn't want to put my PA that I have at risk while I was making those changes. My brick size is 16-1, and these are Ninja Renkos, which is important to know because there's different Renko types. So 16 tick brick size, 1 tick threshold. So basically the market has to move 32 ticks in the opposite direction to close a reversal bar, and then every tick in that direction paints a new bar. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm hungry, got y'all in this food. Don't talk to me about food. I'm trying not to be hungry with y'all because I have not been eating as much as I normally do. Yesterday I did, but like the last probably week I have not. So I've actually been super hungry and just not even wanting to eat. Not in your house, in your car. I'm just so mad at myself for the mistakes I made earlier. Like, didn't I? Oh, yeah. So I took the one trade to get myself back to break even. So I should be 4-0 right now. Instead, I'm what, 3-3? Something like that. 2-2, I think. Let's see. Win, missed win. Invalid trade loss, invalid trade loss. Missed win. So that's 1, 2, that's 3. And then the one trade that I did take, which I don't even remember, it's 4. Yeah, it should be 4-0. How nice. Instead, I'm 2-2. Good job, goofy girl. All right. Still just waiting on us to break either way. I still don't really want to trade inside of here just yet. So if you were curious, the zones that I drew, which have been drawn since 9:30, so about 15 minutes. This is what we've been doing on a 5-minute chart, just basically bouncing back and forth. Let's see if we break though. It looks like we're trying to break down now. Let's see. Can we get that break? But we do have some pretty wicky bars over here, so that's gonna give us some support. If we break the bodies of those two candles. 2 and 2 isn't bad. At least it's not a huge loss. Tap to success. Nobody came in here. Nobody told you to come in here and be positive. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I ain't been eating much Chick-fil-A, trying to pay off some debts. Listen, because Chick-fil-A will put you in debt. I told you when I paid $9 for that large mac and cheese, I was like, wait. I could have made some mac and cheese for $9. Jeez Louise. But it'd be good. Be real good. Thank you, Apple Jacks. Yes. 16 dicks. Just listen to my girls. But yeah, I am glad that I'm not like having a huge loss though. I am. I'm not gonna lie. Cause it could always be worse. I'm just glad it's not the strategy and it's me. I can fix me. And I can only say that because I don't go on tilt. Now, if I was a tilt trader, I can't fix me. It's too hard. But I could fix my mistakes. But I expect probably to continue making mistakes for another like week or so. Once I'm a month in, I should be good. It's just annoying because the mistakes that I made aren't even like, oh, we just changed this recently mistakes. Like, no, it was simple, very simple. It's a way that I've been doing things already. So that's the annoying part about it. 511. All right, that pullback's weak, so not interested just yet. Because we could just do what we just did and reject and head up. So we'll see. Yeah, we could literally just use this as support. However, we do have a higher low and lower high there. So this is kind of a flag pattern a little bit. A weirdly shaped flag pattern, but could be. It could be extended out from the low from like 835. So let's see. What is that? Oh. I guess. Where did this close? I'm not comfortable with how far that pulled back just because we just switched trends. So I haven't really started like trading that in particular. It would have won. And I definitely would have gotten filled. There was like 3 different chances for me to be filled, but usually when we change trends like that, I prefer to take the first pullback at my minor half trend, that one pull back to the middle one. But I probably still could have taken it. It's just I'm not used to it pulling back that far. Usually we reject right at the zone. That's a minor half trend. 1602.04. All right. Now we wait for the pullback. Only problem is I don't want the reversal bar to be too close to the support zone, the support level right here. That's the major support level, so I would have to break even there. And the middle VWAP level is right under it too, so it's another place I have to break even. Those 2 levels and the middle pivot level. A little under 30 minutes left. Blew my XFA today. I gotta come back from that. You got this. You'll come back from it. How did you blow it? Did you go on tilt? Did the market just not really align with your typical strategy? What's the reason for the blow? Because that's super important. You know, if you blow it because your strategy that has edge, this market just didn't go well, but you followed your rules, that's something that like you can't help that. You can't predict what the market's gonna do. If you blew it because of tilt, totally different thing. And sometimes the tilt part, the psychological part of trading is the hardest thing to fix. Fixing a strategy is way easier than fixing your mind. Brace yourself for more drama. FTT, new rules coming. First, okay, you know what? It looked like yesterday. So there were people that were in the chat who were saying that when they looked at their calendar in their back office, basically, if you made less than $200 for that particular day, it did not count. Like it's not counting it as a trading day. So I wonder if that's going to be one of the rules is that you have to make a minimum of $200 in a day in order for it to count as a trading day. I wonder. All right. So we still haven't really created the first pullback below the zone. So usually what I've been noticing lately is when we have a change of bias, uptrend to downtrend, once we create one pullback below the zone, any trades that we take back at the zone lets me know that we're probably heading back up and to try to create an uptrend instead. But for now, both of the pullbacks have been at the zone, so we still have a good chance of pushing down. We just kind of have to see. This isn't a valid pullback though. So we could reject here, use this as support and head up. It was definitely didn't stick to my rules. Did you not stick to your rules because of FOMO or because of tilt? Both are kind of hard to fix though, because it's so easy for us to, we were just talking about this earlier, like somebody in Nutty Bar stream yesterday was upset because he closed early, right? And I think even a couple of posts yesterday, maybe in the Top Step Facebook group popped up, it might have been the Apex group, I don't remember. But these couple of guys were just talking about how they exited early because of emotions and things like that. Like I said, the psychological part of trading is the hardest. I think the biggest thing for me and why I've never gone on tilt, and it's funny when I say that because I remember Applejacks one time he was like, "Is this your version of tilt?" Because I just didn't give a damn. But it wasn't. I just didn't care anymore because I was just so frustrated with how my strategy wasn't working out. But I wasn't taking any like invalid trades or like anger trades or anything like that. I still was just taking every trade and it still was just fucking losing because the strategy wasn't ready yet, right? But I think the only reason, one of the things that helps me when it comes to not going on tilt is number one, I've lost enough real money. I've been trading off and on for 10 years. All right. And obviously I was not profitable in the beginning. I spent a lot of money on indicators and courses and mentorship and all of these things, and none of that shit worked for me. Okay. Because at the end of the day, even if you get taught a strategy by someone else, most of the time you have to put your own spin to it, right? Even let's take ICT, for example. Not everybody takes the exact same setups with ICT. Why? Because different people have different rules of invalidating certain trades based off of time in the markets, right? So the biggest thing is finding something, number one, that works for you and your personality. Everybody can't trade the same way. I don't know why when I first started on YouTube and sharing my journey and going through losses publicly, it prompted so many people to try to tell me this one thing works or this one thing works. That's not how things work. First of all, everybody thinks differently. Everybody analyzes the market differently, which is why I don't like trading time-based candles anymore, because you could put 10 people in front of a chart and people are going to draw their swings differently. People are going to say this is where the lower low or higher low is. Somebody's going to say, it didn't pull back far enough. That's not a higher low. That's why I like Renkos. You can't deny which one is the higher high, the higher low, and things like that, right? But once you have put in enough time in the market where you are confident in your strategy, number one, or once you've lost enough real money to like make you really think, it'll help you stop going on tilt and doing dumb stuff. Trust me. All of my losing has literally just been because my strategy wasn't right yet. And sometimes that can even cause frustration because it's like, damn, I done did this, I done changed to this, I done switched over to this. Putting together a scalping strategy has been the hardest thing ever in my trading journey. There have definitely been times where I'm like, bro, I'm finna whip out my journal from 2 years ago where I was profitable for 3 years trading the exact same strategy. Market conditions changed, didn't matter. My strategy was still the same. I've wanted to do that, right? However, I also thought to myself, no, I don't, because I don't feel like being on the charts as long as I was before. So that's kind of helped me to stay grounded, not quit, because that's the other reason why it's taken me 10 years to do what I want to do, because I always quit. I was a nurse making really good money. I had, businesses and things like that. So it's like, shit, I'm doing well, but I'm starting to be frustrated because I'm on the chart so long, or this one particular trade just really pissed me off. So I'm going to quit for like 6 to 12 months. And then I'll come back for a couple months and then I quit again. Like, it's just been an uphill battle. But once you get it down, and the other part I feel like when it comes to FOMO and tilt is the confidence that you do or do not have in your strategy and the edge that it has, right? Because we were just talking about this earlier. I caught the very top of that sale yesterday. I'll show you. Caught the very top of it on a divergent sale. I only got 4.5 points out of this. Why? Because that's all that I go for. Did I care that it went down 800 ticks from my entry? No, I really didn't give a damn. Why? Because my strategy and my edge is going for 4.5 points at a time. Whatever happens after that, I don't care. So that's how I don't get FOMO from that. Doesn't matter. I didn't backtest a strategy to try to get 800 ticks. I backtest a strategy to try to get 18 ticks out at a time. But that's always the hardest part, is fixing your mind, though. Developers were working on stuff. Who knows the truth? You was pissed. I was pissed that day. I was. But if I pass once, I will do it again. Exactly. You have what it takes. You have what it takes. Like, listen, if you pass using your strategy, you're good to go. My very first PA, the only PA that I have, I passed it on accident. I was trading max contracts trying to fail it because it was renewing the next day, and I accidentally passed it. So guess what? I passed that account in March. I did not start taking trades on it, I think, until September 16th. It took me 6 months to take, well, I took the first trade like a couple months later. I just did like a micro in and out because I was like, ooh, I think my strategy's almost ready. So let's go ahead and just get a little flip day out the way because next week I'm going to start trading it. Maybe I wasn't ready. The market showed me your strategy is not ready yet. So I didn't start actually trading on it until 6 months after I got it. I could have been like a lot of other people, like, gambling on news to try to get the evals passed, but then what's the point? Because then I get into PA and I still don't have a strategy that works yet. So why even waste all of that money? It literally does not make sense. So in the first few years you traded and lost. Why didn't you just give it up? What keeps you going? So when I first was introduced to trading 10 years ago, my 10-year anniversary was last month. I've traded Forex, I've traded futures, I traded binary options on Nadex, I went back to Forex, back to futures. I've been all over the place, right? The reason why I didn't give up, so I started when a lot of people know Q Banks. I started when he did. We were all in the same like network marketing company, a bunch of us young people. And so when that company was going down, Q Banks, and there was a couple of other guys started learning how to trade, like as the company was going down. And so they kind of introduced trading to a lot of us. And many of them had some pretty decent success right off the rip. Right now, what they have done since then, one of them scammed us and I helped put him in jail, but that's neither here nor there. I knew very early on that trading was going to be my ticket to freedom, right? I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't really even care how long it took, right? Because I've been old since I was young. So I have a very different mindset than a lot of people. One of the things that kind of sucks being in this industry is seeing so many people trying to succeed so quickly. I mean, obviously we all want to get rich quick, right? Who wants to get rich slow? However, my thought process was it took me what 12 it takes 16 years to get a bachelor's degree. It don't take 4. It takes 16 because you got to go through the first 12 years of regular school, right? So if it took me 16 years of school and what 8 years as a nurse to be able to make $43 an hour, it took me 24 years to get there. Okay? So for me, why quit trading? Trading is one of those, it's like the hardest way to make easy money, but once you get it, you get it. No other place can you literally make so much money without having to trade too much of your time for it. So that was always my thought process. Like, I don't need to. That's why you'll probably never see me with 20 accounts. I've literally said this since I got on YouTube 10 months ago. You probably will never see me with 20 accounts. Number one, it's a certain level of greed. And it's not to call people greedy who have 20 accounts. I'm not saying that. But most of the people who have 20 accounts, they're trying to get rich quick and they don't even have a sound strategy yet. So it is a form of greed, right? You might see me have 5 accounts with this company and 5 accounts with another. But when I calculated, right? So my last job that I worked as a nurse, like I said, I was making $43 an hour. That's equivalent to about $8,000, a little, I think it's maybe like $7,300 or $7,500 a month. Before taxes, right? Thought process. If it takes me working 40 hours a week, making $43 an hour to make $7,500 a month, I'm only trading like less than 10 hours a week. Okay? If I can withdraw even $6,000 a month from a couple of accounts, I don't need 20 accounts to do that, right? I could just have a couple of accounts and be able to do that. And I'm only trading 10 hours a week. I think it's like 9 hours a week now. 9 hours a week versus working 40. How can I be upset with that? I can't. How can I give up on that? I can't. Is it stressful? Yeah. But I put the stress on myself. I could have came into this and traded the way that I was profitable in my personal account. But again, I didn't want to sit on the charts all day. I wanted to scalp. And obviously it was going to take time, right? I'm literally trading the most volatile instrument during the most volatile trading hours. I'm scalping 4.5 points at a time, and I have very set rules. If you notice, most people who trade the Nasdaq and they scalp, they don't really have very set rules. They'll be like, oh, there's some congestion over here to the left, so we're going to get into a trade real quick for a couple of ticks. I didn't want that. Number one, because I'm analytical and my brain doesn't work that way, and I will overanalyze myself out of every single trade if I don't have very set rules, right? So having strict rules helps me to stay on track. The other thing was, if I ever decided to teach my strategy, which I don't know if I ever would, but if I ever decided to teach, I can't teach there's some congestion over here, go take a trade for 10 ticks. Like, Because guess what I see as congestion, you might not see as congestion. So if I ever decide to teach, I don't have to worry about having 100 students who are all asking questions because the market looks different to them. If I had 100 students and I taught my strategy, every single one of them would trade the exact same way because the strategy is very set. Good morning, Shane. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Q kind of fine. Applejacks. We ain't talking about that right now. Thanks for the feedback. I'm definitely getting back in line. Same story. I quit for months, but trading keeps calling me back like Pookie from. It's so easy to give up. But then it's like when you give up and you go back to like what you were doing before, or, you know, whatever you do for income, it's like, bro, I don't want to do this. I got to make this shit work. I have to. We definitely believe in you. Good morning, Ballless Life. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Very nice. I don't like to trade after 10 a.m. Me neither. Me neither. I only trade until 10:15, but I was just saying earlier I might start trading a little bit later again. I used to trade till 10:45 and then I stopped. So yeah, now I trade till 10:15, but I might start trading a little bit longer again. I don't know. We'll see. This was a trade right here. I just didn't take it because I have to break even. This is the middle pivot level. So I have to break even there. It made no sense to take the trade and it literally would have just broken even. So it was pointless. Very pointless. Here's what the inside of the bars look like. So when we got to here, I would have had to break even. So we came up here, it would have broken even just to go where I wanted it to go. But historically speaking, I have to break even there because usually the market will reverse at that middle pivot level or whatever. So thanks for sharing your story. You're welcome. You are welcome. At some point, I am going to put a video on this channel just about my trading journey, what I've dealt with, how I helped to put a scammer in jail. He's still in jail now, and I'm actually owed restitution, which I need to reach out to the lawyers because I think they have the wrong address. One of my friends was scammed too, and y'all, his first 2 restitution checks were like $2. He was mad as hell. I'm like, bruh, he's in jail. He's probably making like 30 cents an hour. You better take that $2. He's gonna be paying us back for a long time. I think he ended up, so he actually stole way more than what they can account for, but I think they ended up getting him on like maybe $350,000, something like that. And the only reason that a lot of us even invested was because he was dumb enough to have us sign contracts. We signed contracts saying that we can basically never lose money. His company was going to put up whatever amount we did. So if you put up $1,000, he had $1,000 in reserve so that if the accounts blew, everybody gets their money back because his company put up the money. That did not happen. You know, through investigation, they went through Nadex and Nadex was like, he's barely taking any trades. He's not even profitable. He used our money on cars, clothes, jewelry. He gave some of our money away for like toy drives and shit. Like, my nigga. But that's what he did. And I worked directly with the SEC. I didn't work directly with the FBI, but everything that I provided for the SEC, they ended up sending directly to the FBI. And there was a point in time where they asked me to like be part of the trial and stuff, and I'm like, bro, I'm not driving down there for that. But yeah, the phone calls that I had recorded because I knew that motherfucker was lying helped to put his ass behind bars, and that's exactly where he deserved to go. I used to have people like, you don't feel bad for putting him in jail? What about his kids? He didn't give a shit about his kids. Why should I? If you cared about seeing your kids, you wouldn't be doing criminal things to be behind bars and be away from your kids. What they gotta do with me? No, I don't care about I care about his kids, but I don't care about him not seeing his kids. I don't. If he don't care, I don't. But yeah, he was like so cocky. When people were complaining and saying that they were going to sue him, he's like, shit, they can sue me. These people complaining about losing $500. They ain't got no money for lawyers. Oh, my mans, you're so smart, you're dumb. You forgot that government lawyers are free. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Two swings, break-in, cool indicator, very reliable to note those swings. Yeah, this is an indicator called Price Action Swing Pro. There's an oscillator that comes with it as well. If you type it into Google, it puts you at some free forum that you have to sign up for, and then you can have access to it. I've been using this indicator for a long time. I really love it. One of the settings that I don't have over there is volume, so I can see the volume of each swing. And that's why I think if you like to trade volume, trading it with Renko's is like so easy. What is your strategy? Is it in your playlist? It's not in my playlist, Poly Futures Trader, only because I've literally been in the process of developing it for the last 10 months. So I started off just trading kind of like pullbacks to certain levels. This green line you see here is a half trend. The half trend that I use is from NinjaTrader. It's called, they just renamed it, I think for copyright. It's called Nova Wind. I've had this indicator for years. So I use 3 different settings on it. You guys can just only see one, just because I don't want too many indicators on too many charts. I don't want to clog up the memory space on my computer. But initially I just traded pullbacks. That was literally all. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to look for. Then in January, I switched to trading volume, basically looking at the volume of the swings and basically kind of using that to determine how I would take trades. And from January till May, I completely struggled trying to do that. Like none of it made sense. I was making adjustments. None of it was working for 4 months straight. So after that, I switched to still looking at volume, but I started looking at where the point of control was in my entry bar. Is it in the wick? Is it in the body? I didn't have like a volume profile on at the time, so I couldn't see who was in control of the point of control, like if the sellers or buyers were in control. So I traded that way from about May to like July, mid-July. Still couldn't figure it out. From mid-July until 3 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, I incorporated order flow. So from there, I knew where the point of control was, but then I could see inside of the point of control and figure out, okay, is this a trap? Like, let's say that there's a buy here, but the sellers are in control. It's a trap. Or are the buyers still in control? So I would look at that and incorporate it with volume, delta, all this stuff. It was super complicated. It was hard to remember the rules, which is hard for my brain because I'm old, y'all. I don't look old, but I'm old. At least I feel old. So it was just too much to remember. So, almost 3 weeks ago, I was like, yo, let's go back to just strictly volume. I'm very grateful that the order flow version did not work. However, there were certain things that I was forced to pay attention to when I was trading order flow that helped me to go back to how I stopped trading in May. So I struggled for 4 months trading this way that I'm trading right now. And when I went back to it 3 weeks ago, I was like, I looked at my cheat sheet because I keep all my cheat sheets in Canva. Some of them I still have printed out, and I was like, bro, welcome, Casey. Thanks for the sub. Welcome in. Welcome to the fam. So yeah, when I looked at my cheat sheet from May, I was like, bro, this is why it didn't work for 4 months. You were missing these like 2 or 3 very, very key components, like very key components. And so now I've been trading back this way. So once I completely have my strategy set, I probably won't like just completely put everything out there on YouTube, but there's like certain concepts that I will make videos about when it comes to trading volume. And it's really simple stuff though. Like, let me see if I can find, all right, let's just use not that pullback. Let's use a different pullback. Where's that one? All right, let's use this pullback for example. This is how simple it is, but again, there's other components. So if we're in a downtrend, right? The way that we know that the downtrend is still strong is if the volume of this push down is more than the previous push down. So I don't know if you guys can see. Let me just zoom in. So this is a couple of bar pullback, okay? So the reason why that tells us that the downtrend is strong is obviously like once we pulled back, we pushed down with even more volume than the last push down. So that lets me know that the downtrend is strong. Here is the other component for it. Now, I want the sellers to stay in control of the downtrend. So the second component when looking at the volume of the swings is that I want this pullback, the volume of this pullback, to be less than the volume of this pullback. Why is that? Because if we push up with the pullback, we reverse with more volume than what was here, that means the buyers are starting to take over the downtrend, right? So we want the swing down to be more than the swing down up here, the last one, and then we want the pullback to be less than the volume of the last pullback. That's it. Sellers are still in control. Take the trade. Now, there's other things like because I do trade with a half trend, I prefer for price to pull back to my half trend. If it doesn't pull all the way back to my half trend, I want it to be attached to some kind of level, because that would let me know like that even though we didn't pull back far enough, there's something supporting it not pulling back far enough. It's usually a VWAP or support or resistance level. I also use the prior day open high low close and then the current day open high low. But in a nutshell, that's kind of what I'm doing. And I do that in the direction of the trend as well as counter trends. So like one of the trades that I took earlier, where is it? Here. So this is obviously counter trend, right? Because the bias is an uptrend and I took a sell. However, the same concepts remain. I want the sellers to be in control, so way more volume in this swing than that one. Obviously, you can look at the swing and tell that. And then the volume of this swing was less than this one. So the buyers never took back over control of our attempt to take a sell inside of an uptrend. And you can see the trade won. But it's literally that simple. Very simple. Very, very simple. Look at all the new people. Exactly, Amelia. Hello. That's sad people do that. He could have just did it the right way. He could have, but he sucks. He sucks as a human. And he's a narcissist for real. And he is very delusional. And he's out there. Like, I found out that after he disappeared, after he stole our money, he was like dating all these different women. And he was like, he told one girl, because I put the video out on a different channel, and there were people in the comments like, yo, one girl was like, he dated my homegirl. He told her he was an astrophysicist. He was a what? Girl, he is a criminal. We are trying to put him in jail right now. He's a what? Why, of all things for you to lie about being, why is an astrophysicist? Maybe he only said that because, like, how you gonna confirm or deny that? You don't know nothing about that. Like, if he said he was a doctor, oh, you gonna try to go find his license, you know, figure out where he works, stuff like that. But an astrophysicist, what you gonna do? How you gonna confirm that? You can't. But yeah, that man is a cuckoo bird, a real life cuckoo bird. All right, so this is the end of my session. I took 4 trades. I won 2, lost 2. We're not going to talk about how those losses weren't even supposed to be taken. We're just going to move on. We're going to move on. So I did end up break even for the day. I'm going to show you guys my accounts. This is where we're at. So don't mind this top step one. Again, I have to say this every stream because I've had people ask me. The top step drawdown is not correct because it should be 2,000. I don't know when they're going to fix the coding for this indicator for this. But either way, it's a break-even day. I can't be upset. The only thing I could be upset with is myself. Because even with those 2 mistakes in there, if I would have taken the other 2 trades that I sat out of that one, I would still be up, what? Like $170. So yeah, that's my fault. And what dumb girl believed? Girl, she believed it. She believed it. Because the thing is, he when you talk to him, you would think that he's like this. He seems to be a pretty intelligent individual, but he's still dumb because you had us sign contracts, you idiot. And that's exactly how you went to jail. I trade Renko using 80 tick price action bar for pullbacks, taking 20 and 40 ticks at 2 at 20, 2 at 40. Ooh, nice. I know a lot of people who like trading uni Renkos. I tried putting them on my charts, but honestly, by the time I made it look the way I wanted it to look, it just looked exactly like this. I just prefer the one tick threshold. I've traded different settings before. Like I started off with I think a 20 and 2 chart, then I did a 16 and 2 chart, meaning my brick size was 16 ticks, and then it had to move 2 ticks in the direction of the swing in order to close a new bar. Then I think I went to 16 and 1, 20 and 1, back to 16 and 1. I just like the one tick threshold because I feel like you see the true trend. Um yeah, that's the only reason why I use it. You enjoy range? Ew. Well, you know what? The way that I scalp, it doesn't even matter if it's a range day or a trending day. It still works. And that was the other thing. I developing this, I wanted it to work no matter what the price action looked like, no matter what the market conditions look like. And that was important for me because, if let's say that you only trade well when it's a range day. Well, how do you know when it could start off as a trending day, and how do you know when it's going to turn into a range day? Or what if it's a range day on a smaller time frame, but it's trending on the bigger time frame? Do you switch to a time frame you don't normally trade just so you could trade a range? It was too much, right? Or if you trade better in a trending day, you could think that it's still a trending day and you just took the first trade of a range. Consolidation heaven. So that's been the other thing. Like I just had so many goals with developing the strategy, and I'm pretty much there at this point. I had to call Top Step yesterday. They fixed it. Wait, what was wrong? Thanks for your input. I'll have to check out your lives. Ooh, thank you. Oh, range bars. Oh, I got you. Yeah, trending kills range traders. Exactly. And you just never know when the market's gonna switch up on you, right? And that's kind of another reason why I prefer scalping. So, funny story. I used to be a swing trader, like not even just intraday swing. I mean like swing. And so this is when I was trading Forex. This was years ago. I was trading GBP NZD, so the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar. I was in a buy, okay? And the market came about 10 pips away from hitting my take profit. But back then, and I still kind of trade this way now, I was like an all or nothing. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. Kind of the same way that I trade now, except when I'm 17 ticks in profit, my stop loss will move to break even, and I'm going for 18 ticks, right? So anyway, it comes 10 pips away from hitting my take profit. I'm like, nope, I'm going to stay in it. I still think that it's going up. Y'all, that market, as soon as it rejected 10 ticks or 10 pips below my take profit, it ranged for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Went back up to it, fell back down. Went back up to it, fell back down. And every place it fell down was my support level. So I'm still, all right, we good. I wake up one morning, y'all, I lost that damn trade. I said, ain't no way I stayed in that shit for 2 weeks for it to turn against me. It was at that moment I was like, okay, no more swing. We're going to intraday because I refuse to deal with that. And I've even had some times like that where I'm in a trade, and I'm in a trade for a couple hours, become kind of close to my take profit. Back then I would just go ahead and break even. But y'all, it's been a journey. Even with like binary options, I loved binary options, but I'm gonna tell you why I stopped trading binary options. Because there were so many times where price would be one tick off from my strike price, and that contract would expire that way, or the contract would expire and the price was the exact contract price and I lost. It was at that moment I realized binary options is going to give me high blood pressure. I'm done. I am done. So I stopped. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm going to show you guys before I go. I'm going to show y'all this indicator that I used to use when I used to intraday swing trade. It's called squat levels. I think when you Google it, it came from a guy named Posty Pivots or something like that. Um, Let me show y'all. I used to love this indicator. And this was part of the how I used to swing trade. And I would use a combination of Heikin-Ashi candles. I would still use like support and resistance and trend lines, but like, all right, going here. So this is from yesterday, right? So these two zones are obviously support and resistance. Look how it hit resistance and just completely dropped. So there's different lines on here. The first line past the support or resistance level is called the last stand, okay? And basically what that means is if price gets above here, that's called the bear's last stand, because once we get past that, like, the bulls are completely in control, right? Very low chance of us reversing, unless I'm pretty sure if I put a Heikin-Ashi chart on, I'm pretty sure it never closed above here. I can just look at the candles and tell. So I would basically wait until a Heikin-Ashi candle closed above it or below it here, and then I would look for my entry. And so the lines above it are the take profit 1 and 2. I feel like my other version of it had like a take profit 1, 2, and 3. I could be wrong, but I would literally just wait for the breakout and take the trade all the way until the second take profit, and most of the time it would work. Or I also had another version of my entries where I would take entries off of these zones or whatever, and that was one of the ways that I used to trade it, and I was profitable. I used to love that indicator. I can't use it on Renko's though. Doesn't work on Renko's. Uni Renko cleans up nicely, but range bars appear more true to price action. I don't know. I know a couple of people who use range bars. I think that range bars might be the one bar type I didn't use. I've used tick-based charts, time-based charts, obviously Renko's. What else have I used? I've used a bunch of different stuff. I do believe that Renko's and range bar charts show you the true price action more than any other bar type. I will say that. I will say that much. I don't know if I could say that range is better, like for seeing the price action. But I do think that both of those are the best. I was not displaying the same as it was on TradingView. You know what, Seaway? I did see somebody else complaining about that in their Discord, maybe. So you're not the only person. They said that they think it might have been commissions weren't being calculated or something. I'm not sure. Scalpel also, but learning more holding times with micros. Yeah, if you are going to hold for longer, micros for most people are going to be better, especially if you want to like take off, contracts along the way and things like that. Actually, one of my homegirls, she was a scalper. She used to scalp for 20 ticks at a time, and she told me recently that she switched to holding longer and trading with micros, and she loves it. She loves it. Me, I just rather know my fate in like 10 seconds. Because most of my trades are less than 10 to 15 seconds. I know my fate, whether good or bad, we're out of here. I don't have to sit here for a long time. But I do want to make a video, and I'll probably do this next week, in regards to risk management, because I find that a lot of traders are so new to trading that they're not really understanding proper risk management. I know part of it is greed and wanting to get these $60,000, $80,000 payouts and stuff, but I think also the other part of it is them not really truly understanding risk management and how to determine your contract size based off of risk management. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Kelly criterion module, but 10 years ago is when I learned about it, and basically I have to I'll try to find it today, because every calculator that I see online now has to do with gambling and stuff. And there's certain aspects that are missing that used to be in the Kelly criterion calculator that I used to use. But basically, you would put in like what you want to risk per trade. So let's say you want to risk 5% of your available capital per trade. And then you would also input what your edge is on your strategy. So knowing what your win percentage is on your strategy was extremely important as well. And based on certain factors, mainly those two factors, but a couple of other ones, it would tell you how much you should actually risk based on what your edge is. So obviously, like if you win 70% of your trades, it's going to tell you to risk more than if you win 35% of your trades, right? Um, and so I want to put a video out about that pretty soon, and I will, because I think it'll be extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. Oh, I got a guest here. All right, so I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Welcome to all the new viewers and all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I hope y'all liked y'all first video that y'all saw, y'all first stream. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I do grand jury duty every Wednesday, so I will not be here tomorrow. Good luck with the rest of your session. Good luck tomorrow, and I will see you guys Thursday. Bye.